Hey guys, welcome back. I'm going to give you guys an update on the Leica Q2. I've been using it for 3 months. Some of you have DM'd me on Instagram, asked some questions. We've had great conversations, a couple talks on the last post. But before I do all of that, I wanted to quickly introduce myself and let you get to know who I am and who you're about to listen to. I am based in Los Angeles, and I am a photographer who specializes in destination weddings. I've been working for 10 years. Before that, I worked for a magazine, and some of my subjects and clients included Larry King, Vanessa Hudgens, Austin Butler, and a few other celebrities and executives that we don't need to mention. So I describe my work as being timeless, authentic, and cinematic. So my approach is really to bring a sense of grandeur to nuanced moments that happen throughout a wedding day. And I'm able to achieve this through, mastering my craft, artistry, and experience. So this might be the last time I make a video like this. I don't want to create a channel that focuses on gear because that's not what I'm all about. In the past, I've talked to my audience about finding your own voice in your industry. And a lot of the times that means setting down your camera and getting out there and just living life, just experiencing life in a different way and in a unique way that's going to make you you. And that just comes out in your work. But enough of that. I wanted to quickly jump in again and talk to you guys about the Leica Q2, which I am filming on today. So it won't be in my hands. So I hope that's okay. So it's been 3 months. I've shot some weddings. I've shot branding sessions, portrait sessions, and I love it. I love it so far. I wasn't sure how I was going to incorporate it into my workflow. Originally, I mentioned that I bought it to replace my X100V, and that was its true purpose, to just simply replace that and to match better with my main camera, which is the Fuji GFX 50S, I'm sorry. So what I found so far is that I absolutely love the colors that the Leica produces. I love how it renders. Is it making me shoot different? Yes. So with my X100V, I had a lot more control with it in terms of having the rear thumb wheel and the front wheel, which I would use with my index finger. So I would be adjusting my shutter speed and my ISO on the fly. I can't do that with my Leica, not as quickly at least. It requires that it gives me another step. And that's okay. So what that's done is it slows me down a little bit, but I've always been a slower shooter. So coming from the analog film world, I used to shoot a lot of medium format film for clients. And I have not done so in like 2 years, mainly because I purchased the GFX and I just took over my medium format system. But having that sort of pace allows me to be a lot more methodical. And the Leica allows me to do the same thing in that way. That's not to say that it's a slow camera. However, that actually does make me bring up a good point. And a little con that I have is its writing speed. Now, I only have a 105 megabyte per second card in there right now, and I think it's time for me to upgrade. I think that might be the source of my problem. Others have told me to get a firmware update, but I have the latest. So as far as like the drive mode, I switch it over to continuous shooting mode to get a couple little bursts whenever I get an action shots and my clients or my subjects are in motion. The writing speed, it just kind of drags a little bit, and I can't really preview my image right away if I wanted to. Oftentimes I don't end up previewing my images and I just continue with the day and with the moment. I want to stay connected with my subjects and I don't want to lose sight of the action that's happening in front of me. So it's really easy for me to bring up the camera and just shoot a little burst every once in a while. But for the most part, I keep it in single shot mode. How I interact with my subjects on this camera is really interesting. I think I was a little bit more detached with my X100V. It was a lot more documentary in that I could just really just point it, shoot it, and I knew that I would get the shot. With the Leica, I find myself engaging my subjects a lot more. One of my favorite photographers is Greg Williams, a celebrity photographer. If you don't know him, just go ahead and look him up. He's shot a lot of like BAFTA awards. I think he's been at the Oscars as well, and has done a lot of editorials with celebrities. And what he does is he engages his subjects directly, and sometimes he'll just kind of keep the camera at the side of his face, and he'll elicit a response. Now, I attempted that at a wedding with the Leica, and I did not like it. It's not for me. It doesn't go with my personality. It doesn't go with my workflow. And I felt that I was inserting myself too much into their wedding day, and I kind of was taking over. And I really wanted to go back to having a hand in guiding them into good light and making them feel safe and comfortable in themselves, but also, you know, elevating the frame with my composition, lighting, of course, and minimal guidance or direction. I didn't like, you know, interfering as much with my direction by engaging them as I attempted to do so in the style of Greg Williams. So the Leica, again, battery life is great. I bring 2 batteries with me on a wedding day. It's lasted me, you know, 8-10 hour days. How often do I shoot it on a wedding day? I have some numbers here for you guys that I pulled up. And just to give you an idea on the last 2 weddings that I shot, with my GFX, I shot 1,564 images. And on the Q2, I shot 1,345. On the wedding before that, I shot 1,136 images on the GFX. And on the Q2, I shot 761. So you see that it kind of varies. I think it varies on the mood, my mood, what I'm seeing, what's happening in front of me, and just how I'm feeling that day. So I don't really ever go in with a plan. I kind of like to feel out the day, and I just navigate the day in that manner. I consider myself to be a very intuitive person, and so I'm a very intuitive photographer and very efficient as well. So I don't really go in with an understanding of how much I'm going to use the camera. It's just kind of like a feel and touch thing. Another update that I wanted to give you guys is I recently received this Lightpix, this little small flash from Lightpix called the Flash Q20 Mark II. It is, let me see here. You see that? It's tiny. And one really neat feature about this is that it has a transmitter that pops off, and apparently this is the world's smallest transmitter. So how I plan on using this is just holding it off to the side of the camera as I'm bringing it up here. I need to probably get a 45-degree shot and just point it at my clients or my subjects or whatever. There's also a constant light on this thing, which is pretty neat. The one thing that I was doing was shooting with my Godox V1, and this also has a constant light. So this thing is way too big for the Leica. It's top heavy when I mounted, so I would just take it off of the hot shoe and just turn on that constant light and just point it at my subjects. This would only come out during nightfall, so receptions or indoors, kind of get a party vibe and just go directional with this. I don't do off-camera flash in the traditional way of like setting it up on a light stand. I like to keep a small footprint. I don't like, you know, running around and setting anything up. I'm very light with my gear and how I navigate a wedding day. What else can I tell you? I'm in love with the files. I'm in love with the workflow. I found myself shooting a lot more black and white. So I changed the picture mode to high contrast black and white. So as I'm looking through the viewfinder, I'm seeing the day in black and white. And what that's done for me is it eliminates all of the distractions in the frame. So all of the color distractions just immediately go out the door. And I'm able to then just focus and concentrate mainly on composition. And what I feel that's done is just elevated my work, and it's helped take it to another level. And it's very useful. So it's something I definitely recommend if you're interested in upping your composition game, to just kind of eliminate those distractions, focus on your light, focus on your composition and subject matter, and then just go from there. So that's been very helpful. Again, love the sensor. I love how it pairs up with my GFX. Very happy with that. I love its size compared to my 100V. Slightly bigger, slightly heavier, but nothing that I mind. I carry it around my neck. I don't put it on the shoulder strap. It's just on the neck strap around my neck all day. For that reason, I don't use a leather half case. I don't ever set this camera down on any surface. It goes straight, comes out from my camera box and straight around my neck and then just hangs all day. I took a look at my 100V yesterday and I saw that it's in great condition for that same reason. So I don't think that I'll be purchasing the leather half case. The only other accessory I can think of might be the thumb grip. But again, if this little transmitter is going to be mounted on there, then that might be annoying. So I've been fine without it. Again, I don't need all the bells and whistles. A bunch of old school photographers shot that way, so I feel like I'm gonna be okay. I think what I'm gonna do is just stop talking. I'm either gonna stop talking and upload some pictures, or I might just narrate as the slideshow goes on. So I'm not entirely sure, so please forgive me if I'm indecisive at the moment right now, but I might go ahead and update this video at a later time in a different manner. So I hope that was insightful for you guys. Again, I've been shooting with it for 3 months. I will not be getting rid of this camera. I'm in it for the long haul, and I'm excited to see what else I can do with it. So I'm excited to share my content with you guys, and let me know if you guys have any questions, suggestions on accessories. Although again, like I said, I'm not really sure that I need any at the moment. But any tips if you're like a Q2 user and you found some some helpful tips that you'd like to share with others or myself, please go ahead and drop us a message. Thanks guys, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.